So it's a little after 2 in the morning on Friday, October 28th. I'm not really all that tired, a little bit tired, but I'm not all that tired because I'm kind of excited. I'm excited because I decided a few hours ago, after I did another video about talking about college basketball and setting up, I go, you know what I can do tonight for the rest of the night, and then I'll go to bed. It's like I will enter in all of the college basketball teams that are playing on November 7th when the season starts. I'm like, I'm sure I can enter all of them in. Like, how bad can that be? How many games could there possibly be in one day of college basketball? This won't take long. It won't take long. Actually, it turns out it was 115 games. Yep. But I'm glad I did it. Glad I did it, and I'm glad I finished it to completion. So I can do a video for everyone because I know I can just put it out on YouTube and people can enjoy this. So the college basketball algorithm is a fantastic resource for predicting college basketball games. And it's now officially set up for the beginning of the season. I don't know too much more I can do with it because there are no stats yet for the current season. So it is so cool. And there are no lines yet. Okay, there are no lines yet. We are way ahead of the lines. We are like 11 or 12 days ahead of the season starting. So there's nothing here. There is health though. I should show the health numbers. So the health numbers are accurate. There's actually an injury report that's accurate right now. Thank you, RotoWire. So I set this up and I'm just like, wow, all right. This is a great example to send it out to people that have subscribed. There are 3 people that have subscribed so far, and some other people that I'll also send this to. But basically, if you want to get on this list for November, it's like $165, I think, right now. Or yeah, something like that. And it's going up $5 every time I sell one of these because this thing is so powerful and so incredible that you almost have no choice but if you read it properly to make educated wagers and to win in the long term when using the logic from this file. And I've had messages from people from like kids that have been like, dude, you put me through college with this file. Like I just bet what this thing says. And I, you know, I don't know how he did it. I should ask him, but I've gotten great messages about this. I've won money sometimes with this, sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, because I'm crazy in the way that I wager. But it's just incredible how much this provides. And it gives you a score of the game. It gives you, I mean, it's just incredible. Let's unfreeze panes here. So what's going on? What is going on here? Well, Baylor over Mississippi Valley State's the #1 pick of all time. Says they win 95-48. We will see what the eventual spread numbers are. I don't think the odds makers are going to put it at 47, but you are going to see after this video, the odds makers emulate a lot of what's in here, and they'll probably purchase a copy. But it's not going to matter for the beginning of the season because in the beginning of the season comes, then we get to apply our own methodology and work on the player stats. And that's where we get some value because the odds makers are not going to know what I do with this right away. And it'll be really fun because the school stats sheet gets distorted and you have to mess with this ratio for standings because strength of schedule doesn't mean as much because it's all distorted in the beginning of the year. All these ratings are screwed up. You almost have to go with points more. I've seen it in the past, and we're going to actually do some regressive testing once we get some results in here to do this. I'm telling you, this file is a beast. It is unbelievable only because I program everything in Microsoft Excel and I create massive programs essentially all within one file. Only because this is an Excel file, does it fool you into thinking it is not the most incredible thing on earth? Like I say that these things beat everybody. They beat everybody on YouTube. They beat everybody who's predicting games. They beat ESPN. They beat the living crap out of everyone. Why? How can you say that, Ken? How does that work? How is that possible? Why do you beat everyone? Yes, because it's not me. My opinion's terrible. If you've ever watched me try to handicap anything, my picks are crap. But the algorithm wins. And that's because the algorithm is set up to regressively test the stats to find the most optimal outcomes. So there's essentially not really much thinking on my part. It's just tweak this thing to work properly based on how it would win in the past. And we have years of experience doing this, which is why I already have a percentage distribution here based on all of last year's stats. that was probably pretty good last year. That's why it's here. We can do more work. I haven't looked at this in forever, but apparently this is something. I don't know. We can start messing around with it because you're going to get different numbers when you do. But it's just amazing because you will see it do incredible things. You'll see it pick off exact scores of games. You will see it pick off underdogs. You will understand that wagering on college basketball with something like this makes it a completely different enterprise. It becomes you like just sorting this thing. Like here's what happens is there are no lines in these games, right? Well, what if I put, some lines in here? Like let's put like something like this for everybody or something. Or I don't know what happens if I pull this down. Maybe get some weird. No, I want to get some weird numbers in some random pattern. I do. Good. This is crazy. So when you get some lines in here, then what happens is you can go back and you can see what those lines are. And you can say, all right, well, we have this thing filtered right now with a margin above 0, meaning we think that this team on the left is going to win. So you can start doing things like saying, oh, sort this thing by money line descending and show me the biggest underdogs. Money line descending. Tulsa's not going to be 5,970 to 1. I don't think so, or 5,900 to 170. They probably won't be. But if you had whatever your lines are, you'll start to see stuff filter to the top. But it's also in an order, which is descending by margin. So I get excited about a lot of stuff, but this one, I mean, if you wanted to craft a sport where the better has an advantage, it would be a sport like college basketball. It is a sport like college basketball. There's so many points. There are so many games. There's so many teams. Every city and university has got a team. You know how long it took me to do this? I started looking at this. It took me over 2 hours. I think I said that, but basically it took me that long because I had to find the correct team name. They call stuff different stuff, like Lafayette is Louisiana, and there's two different St. Mary's or Mount St. Mary's, and stuff's confusing. It took me years to get the names correct here in the matrix. So this is actually a huge pain in the butt. And for me to get through all 115 games, it actually took a couple hours. That's astonishing for me when it comes to data entry. I don't sit down and do hours of data entry anymore. I usually find a solution to the problem, but I couldn't because we didn't have lines yet. And I wanted to show you how incredible this thing is 10 days in advance to what's going on. So what I can tell you is that Baylor is going to probably squash Mississippi Valley State, and Kansas will do the same to Omaha and all these things. And way down at the bottom, you get some close games, and we're going to have lines. And while this is all based on last year, wow, will the first week or two be absolutely incredible, because I won't do videos about it. I'll just do recap videos or something. I'll figure it out because I'm going to do work on it every day, and we're going to get intelligence that's going to make these picks more optimal. The lines you're going to see are going to be incredible. I will predict that the algorithm will pick a game in the first week that is over 600, like over 6-1. It will pick one of those games to win, and one of those games will win. That is my educated assessment of how this file works and what it does, because somebody will be plus 800 and it'll be like, oh, this team's supposed to win on like the second game of the season, and we'll do it and they'll win, and I'll be like, see, that's how this thing works. It's really incredible. So that's the college basketball update. I've emailed it to people that have subscribed to this. If you want to get on that list, get on that list while you still can. It's still cheaper, because if those who watch these videos, more people start to watch these videos, more people start to understand what's happening and track what's going on, especially with NBA. I suspect I'll sell a lot of these because it's just incredible, and you can update it pretty quickly yourself. And I'll go through processes of how to do that. And I wouldn't wager on college basketball without it. I actually cannot wager on college basketball without it. If I don't have this thing, I feel as though I am completely neutered when it comes to understanding who might win a game. I have no clue, because this thing is so reliable when it gets rolling. And so there you go. So college basketball, I'm glad I spent 2 hours doing this tonight. And if you want to purchase copies and get on the list, follow the link in the description. And good luck, everybody. I expect us to have a lot of picks that are winning this year.